Hey guys, welcome to Series World. Today I'm going to explain a romantic drama series called Playing with Fire from 2019. Turn on subtitles and spoilers ahead. The first episode opens with a woman screaming while standing on top of a cliff. Soon the scene changes to two jeeps speeding in the middle of the jungle. One is chasing another. Both the men are all bloodied up. The man who's chasing the other car gets out his gun and starts shooting from his car. A woman is also seen on the screen crying and waiting for someone tensely. The story starts 6 months ago. Fabrizio is seen in a warehouse looking around for someone. Camila comes up from behind and holds his eyes. She pulls him deeper into the warehouse. Soon they are seen engaging in intimate activities. The scene changes to Jorge greeting his wife Martina and his adopted son Gildardo at the breakfast table. He's frustrated about his daughter as she's not present at the table. Moreover, Gildardo informs him that his daughter Andrea has gone to Martin's kayak shop. They rented some and went sailing to the river. Jorge is furious hearing this. But Martina is also furious, but for different reasons. Martina is frustrated at Jorge that he's invading Andrea's privacy. But Jorge thinks he has the right as she's going around spending his money. Martina gets fed up with him and leaves the table. She comes back and reminds Gildardo that he's not part of this family. The scene cuts to Andrea taking pictures of the coffee bean pickers that are working in their field. A woman is then seen getting off of a truck with her luggage. Meanwhile, Fabrizio is asking Camila when he's going to see her again. She assures him that she'll see him very soon and tells him to wait for her call. Fabrizio asks whether she'll pay him for this, but Camila doesn't like this idea. Fabrizio agrees too that their lovemaking shouldn't be transactional, but Fabrizio gives her one condition, that he'll be the one who'll call her to meet. Back to the woman. She's waiting in the middle of the road with her luggage. A car stops seeing her alone in the middle of the road. The driver comes out and starts looking at her up and down with not so great intentions. The woman also senses his lust but refrains from saying anything. The man starts trying to convince her to get in his car so that he can give her a ride. He suggests she pay for the ride with her body inside his car. At first, the woman starts flirting back, but she soon strictly tells him to get her to the nearest inn, and she won't pay him with her body. The scene changes to Gildardo. He's editing his picture on the family photo when he gets a call. Gildardo gets called by his godfather to the warehouse. Andrea is also near the warehouse taking pictures when she hears Jorge scolding Gildardo for delaying some work. Andrea is fed up by this, so she walks away. She spots Fabrizio's jeep and gets on it. Fabrizio doesn't know, so he's confused about her. Andrea tells him to get her out of there. Fabrizio suggests dropping her off somewhere inside the company, but she informs him that she owns the company. Fabrizio tells her that her father will be very angry if he finds out, but Andrea tells him not to worry about that. Back to Camila, she has arrived in front of a house. An old, handsome man comes out and greets her. The man tells her he heard that two people were being intimate in their warehouse. Camila hides from him that she was there and pretends that it's crazy to do something like this. The old man, Peter, then starts smelling her while being quite intimate with Camila. She explains that she smells like coffee because of the lotion she uses. Peter starts making out with her in front of the door, but Camila seems to be unwilling to his advances. Andrea is seen again. Fabrizio tells her sorry for not having an air conditioner in his car. Andrea doesn't pay heed to his jokes, so he gives her his sunglasses and tells her to clean them. Andrea is surprised that he works at their company because her father never hires someone so arrogant and rude in their company. Fabrizio thinks Andrea has gone after her father and also acts like that. Andrea tries to continue the conversation, but Fabrizio asks her where he should leave her as he has work to do. Andrea tells him to stop in front of a fruit cellar. She gets out and takes some pictures of the cellar and the fruits. Fabrizio hurries her, but she tells him to wait 2 more minutes, but Fabrizio drives off without her. He's sure that she'll come up with something as she is indeed pretty. The scene changes to Dolores. She and the driver have arrived in front of an inn/bar. The owner greets the driver, Eliseo. Dolores gets him a drink as she promised. Now she owes him nothing, but Eliseo is not happy with only this, and suggests to her that he'll pay her to agree. Eliseo tries to pursue her, saying, "It's good to have friends around here as a foreigner," but Dolores ignores his advances. The scene cuts to Andrea helping her mom to style. She's upset that she's still wearing old-fashioned clothes, but Martina doesn't care about fashion and style that much. Andrea throws away a bunch of Martina's old clothes and tells her to get ready now as they'll leave for shopping. The scene changes back to Dolores, who's waiting in front of the inn as she has nowhere to go now. The owner comes up to her and asks whether she has a place in mind. Dolores replies that she doesn't and asks whether he knows somewhere where she can rent a room. But it's coffee harvest season, so every inn is full now. Dolores is frustrated because she also has work to do, but she can't do them without having a place to stay. The owner suggests to her that she can help him in the bar and he'll manage her a room in the back in exchange. Dolores accepts his deal. Meanwhile, Martina is going out with Andrea when Jorge asks her where she is going from behind. Martina tells him that they're going shopping. Jorge understands. He tells her sorry for not being able to take her shopping, but assures her that once he hands over the business to Andrea, they'll go shopping in Armenia. But Martina knows that he won't have time for her even in the future. The scene changes to Peter. He has arrived in the company with his wife, Camila. Fabrizio greets them while he's loading the truck. Camila is acting a bit awkward around Fabrizio. Peter tells him that she's upset because he has caught her cheating on him. Fabrizio is shocked hearing this, but Peter tells them that he's joking. Peter then tells Fabrizio that the reason he came here is he'll host a tasting party in the evening for the distributors. They'll bring their wives and the wives don't find business interesting. So Peter wants Fabrizio to come up with a plan to entertain them. Fabrizio understands and tells him to just get Jorge's permission and he'll start the planning. Back to Andrea. She's done with the shopping. Martina doesn't like some of the pieces Andrea chose for her, but Andrea pushes her to still keep them. After coming back home, Andrea makes her try the clothes. Martina dresses up and Andrea takes pictures of her. Martina tells her that she feels weird in these dresses, but Andrea tells her to try them and stop thinking about what her dad will say. She just wants her mom to enjoy herself. Martina is grateful for this, and she hugs Andrea. Andrea tells her that if she feels good on the outside, she'll feel good on the inside too. The scene cuts to Camila, who's upset and screaming because a worker burnt her dress. The dress was quite expensive, and moreover, the employee named Monica gave her excuses. Peter tries to calm her, saying Monica has 3 children, and even her husband left her. Peter tells Camila that he won't fire Monica as people are allowed to make mistakes, and Camila also can't fire anyone without his consent. Camila tells him to then appoint an employee who'll only do her work exclusively. Peter agrees to do that. They then share a kiss. Meanwhile, Martina is imagining Jorge telling her how beautiful she looks in that white dress, then carrying her away in his arms. But in reality, Jorge tells her that the dress doesn't suit her, and she should dress her age. In the evening, Jorge and Martina are at the tasting party. Jorge is talking to Peter and another man. Jorge jokingly asks Peter to give Fabrizio to him as he's a very hard worker. Fabrizio is then seen telling the history of coffee beans to the people at the party. It's a story of a goat shepherd named Kaldi in Ethiopia and how the first cup of coffee was made. After he's done with the story, he tells the audience to follow him as tonight they'll indulge in tasting coffee. After everyone has sat around the table, Fabrizio tells them to put on the blindfold in front of them. They're then guided to taste the coffee and smell its uniqueness. While he's guiding them throughout the process, he's also touching Camila's shoulders. First, they're told to test the cup on their right. After tasting, Martina expresses that the coffee has a citrus flavor and a hint of cocoa. She comes to the conclusion that it's Peter's signature roast. She's correct. And then Fabrizio guides them to taste the one on the left. This coffee has a sweet aroma and a hint of vanilla. While he's explaining to them about the coffee, he's constantly touching Camila, and she's expressing herself too. Then he tells the guests that this coffee is the best coffee in the world. They're then allowed to take off their blindfolds. The guests thank Fabrizio for giving them this great experience. The scene then cuts to Andrea waiting for her parents to come back. Martina and Jorge come back to the house, but Jorge is quite drunk. Andrea asks Martina why she didn't wear her dress, but Martina ignores the topic. Jorge starts talking to Andrea about when she's going to take over the company. She's always avoiding the conversation and is living off of him. Andrea caves in and tells him that they'll talk about this tomorrow and she'll come to the office. Jorge agrees and tells them goodnight. After he leaves, Andrea asks Martina why she's so afraid of Jorge. Martina just wants to keep the peace between them and not say anything that she'll later regret. Andrea makes it clear to her mom that she won't let her dad decide her destiny. She's fed up with this same conversation again and again. The scene changes to Camila sending Fabrizio the location of the place where they'll meet. Fabrizio realizes that it's inside her house. Eliseo is seen again giving Gildardo a new gun. He's practicing with the gun and is quite satisfied with it. Gildardo then takes the cigar from Eliseo and starts smoking it. He's surprised that Eliseo is still selling this kind of stuff. Eliseo gives him a pack of these as a gift and tells him not to turn him to his godfather. Meanwhile, Fabrizio has arrived at the location. Camila invites him to join her in the swimming pool naked. Fabrizio jumps in and they start making out in the pool. Back to Gildardo, he's expressing to Eliseo how much he hates Fabrizio. He wants to use him as a target to practice his shootings. He's sure that Fabrizio is hiding something and he'll find it. Meanwhile, Fabrizio and Camila are still in the pool. Fabrizio asks where her husband is. Camila explains that he had some African wine, and now he's sleeping. They don't have much time, so Fabrizio gets to work. In the house, Peter and Camila's son Diego wakes Peter up, saying he wants to sleep with him. Peter notices that Camila is not in the bed. The scene changes back to Gildardo. Eliseo tells him that he can have any gun he wants, but women still stay far away from him. Gildardo gets furious and points the gun at his head. Eliseo tells him to calm down and not create trouble with him. Gildardo puts the gun away but shoots beside him. Fabrizio and Camila are surprised to hear the gunshot, but they keep continuing their lovemaking session. Meanwhile, Peter has put on his robe and is now looking for Camila everywhere. But Camila and Fabrizio are blissfully unaware and are enjoying their moments. The episode ends with Peter opening the curtains and looking outside. To watch more explanations of these kinds of series, click on the videos on your screen. And don't forget to let me know how you feel about today's video in the comments down below. And at last, thanks for watching.